Hello, this is Johannes Vuotari from Holtron. Today it's time to update one of our apps into Android 14, and it's gonna require us to bump up our SDK, modify manifest permissions. There's gonna be runtime code changes and checkings in the permission requirements, Google billing, and receiver. That was quite surprising to me that receivers also might broadcast receiving might give you a security exception. So let's change those into one of our apps. Let's start. Okay, let's start first from the build cradle. In the build cradle, after we updated our Android Studio SDKs, we're receiving the request to update 33 into 34, so we can get our access into the latest build tools. Okay, so there you go. Now we can start modifying our app from the manifest after we sync it. So let it sync. Okay, that went through. Let's go into manifest. This will be the first big change regarding the primary permissions, because we have to now be more specific. For instance, when we launch our foreground service. So I'm taking a piece of code from my reference project that I have used before. Now that you have SDK 33 tools, you should be able to access this kind of a foreground service type requirement. Now, it fully depends what you have now in your application as a use case. So I'm showing you a commented version of a data sync. Now, let's say if you would use your foreground service to upload and download one or few non-infinite service type data sending receiving, you would use data sync. Now I'm using special use case because of this app is a infinite service based API testing app, and it doesn't just fully fall into the Google's principles of data sync. So if you want to read more about these foreground types, you have to go into Google migration into Android 14 and see what use case is suitable for you. So because mine is not standard foreground service, I'm using the special type as Google is explaining for the developers. So covers any valid foreground service use cases that aren't covered by the other foreground service types. So this will also include some additional info to be put into our service in the manifest. So let's take care of that now. So our old service in here didn't have those what Google was instructing. So now we have to be a little bit more specific. So give me a second, I will take one piece from here. Well, why not just write it? Okay, so Android, we should have foreground service type is special use. Okay, so now we have it. Now we have to add a little bit more extra in here. So like so, and we will need to add a property as so in here, and Android, I'll be copy pasting this because this is purely coming from Google's migration tool guidelines. Special use FGS sub type, and we'll be having value of. This is something I'm not really sure what am I supposed to have in here. So I'm just putting the name of my application package in here. What is my application here? com.hold to run, like so. The value, this is something that I don't know what they actually want us to put in here, but I've been using my app package name in here. So it's working. So maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Time will tell. Okay, it seems our new permissions for the SDK 34 is correct. We added the new service in additional informations for our foreground service type, special use, and we added new property type for special use for our app package. Okay, quickly before jumping into code changes, in our implementations in Build Cradle, we have to update the Google billing into 6.0.1. If you have Google billing, it's gonna immediately crash your app without this. This has to be done. So you can update it from the variable, or you can check what you have in your suggestions. So I'm just gonna make it so and update, and we should sync quickly. And now our variable is 6.0.1. This is another library that for some reason is using the broadcast receiver and somehow is causing security exceptions immediately during the first initialization of the Google billing at Android 14. So, okay, now our Cradle is set up, and our manifest for the foreground service is set up. We can jump into main activity. Okay, so now we can update our receivers. Now, if you are using broadcast receivers to get these tasks in your main activities or in service, I'm using 1, 2, 3, which will affect my main activity. I need to change the behavior, how I register these from now on. At least while I was testing Android 14, this caused me a security exception due to how I was registering them. So let's change this just a bit. So I don't want to register them individually. I'll just create a bundle saying intent filters.apply, and now I can say add action. So let's add our filter 1. Let's add our filter 2, and let's 3. So okay, now I need to only register my broadcast receiver once, but let's take one from here and delete. Now this is just code optimizations to get a bundle of filtering. This doesn't yet affect by any means regarding the security exception. But now I used to just say register, and I didn't have any receiver exported or non-exported flags included, and now we need to have it. So beyond that, we have to say the build version .sdk int is greater than version codes, and was it tiramisu? Yes, So the flags, exported flags, do not work in the older receiver registering. So I'm just gonna say like this. So we don't have our, now we want to just add our filters like so. So this will work definitely without a flag on older Androids, but now we have to add a flag into our, when this is a new Android. So like so. Let's try. I believe it should give me an error if I just pass it in here. Yes, it is saying that, hey, fields require API level 33. Yeah, you have to. I have to use this check. So it didn't give me, this here didn't give me any exceptions with older Android up to 33, but with this Android 14 SDK compile tools, it is giving me. So you can try, maybe I'm wrong, but it is more certain to do it this way. Beyond that, I noted that my receivers weren't receiving any tasks, even if this was inside my application, fully inside my application, between my application classes. If I don't say receiver exported in here, if I just said none, not exported, it just all broadcasts were just muted. So I'm just leaving it as it is in here, so it works. So now I need to update all of my other broadcast receivers. There was 3 update activity, change the new message. Okay, let me see. I just want to ensure that I have them. Yes, I'm receiving 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now let's repeat this same procedure into all of my classes using broadcast receiver. Certainly one of them is in my service. So I should have broadcast receiver. There's quite a many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, at least those we have in here that I need to register. Wow, many more. So I gotta be careful. So let's make the filters first. Intent. Dot apply. And just to handle these one by one, I don't miss anything. Let's make it this way. Add action. Okay, 1. Think I can copy paste from here. Yep, went wrong. Copy paste from here. Like so. Yes. Like so. Okay, now we are creating bundle of filters, and checking the Android versions and adding receiver exported flag with the filters, or just as I used to do it. So I need to count these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, okay, let's double check from up here. In the service, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, I believe we have everything in place. 9, yes, okay. So service should be ready. We can jump into our last activity. We had the main activity. And maybe we do have something in the settings activity. Do we have broadcast receiver? No, okay. Now we can jump into our next task and double check that our runtime permissions are correct. So next we need to ensure our file permission requirements work correctly. So I have currently till API 33 I just used xread write, which was okay for the older Android versions, and from Android R and above until Tiramisu Android 33. So I was just using this set of permissions to check if the user should be able to fetch any of the images files. I have one function that requires any type of file, so we need to just ensure it might be as well an audio file. So let's make 2 set of permissions and modify one universal file opening request. So let's make this xread write. What should I say? All media in here, and this will be just media, like so. And when I do that, what I just did, it just updated the variable for all use cases in my code. And now we have to add audio files. Media audio. So these are called, I believe Android introduced granular permissions starting from Tiramisu Android 33, but they didn't really force it. Am I correct? But these are forced in the Android 14 and above. So it was really easy to get access into external storage, but now we have to request granular permissions in new Androids, so the user can micromanage better as how he feels. In some means I feel there's a conflict in the user experience, because it became so complicated that not even all users and coders really know what the app requires. But anyhow, I'm just making this all media, so I don't need to worry about case by case what type of a media the universal fetch attachment function needs. So let's see where that function is. Was it this? No, it's not that one. Was that? Yes, get file attachment. So I'll show you this with the demo app while this is done. Get file attachment, because I have no understanding what kind of a file type the user is fetching. So therefore I'm just requesting any sensitive file types as a bundle of permissions and checking if they are okay. And if they are okay, only then I'm launching the function to pick the files. So now let's change this for our function all media. So what is happening, I'm checking if it's correct. If not, I'm saying fetch all media. I believe we have to modify further. Let's see. Let's leave that as a to-do permission request. Yes, I don't wanna make this, so we need to add let's make it so yeah, I need to update all of these to refactor. So it should be done in a minute. Okay, now I need to create another one because I'll be using this as a use case specific. So I must have its own identifier. So because I'm launching this for the images and videos, I cannot be using the same for my images, videos and audio. It will be all media. It will be media. Yes, to refactor. Okay, and now just modify my logging function so I know that it is correctly done. So okay, media, all media. Yes, I believe it is correct. And now we just need to launch this instead of images audio, but we want to request images, video and audio. So our launcher, if we are missing the permissions, we are now launching that all media request here with all media like so. Okay, now our universal permission request should be correct. Yes. So I believe I don't have any more of that kind of a universal file type functionality, file request function, so that should be done. Are we ready to test the app? Now let's build the app and see how many errors we have. Okay, I just rebuild the project and there is no critical errors. This is something you probably will see until the official Gradle plugin gets updated. We are still at 8.0.2 and it's not the official Gradle build for Android 14. So it's gonna give you a warning in here like so. So it hasn't prevented my apps from operating correctly so far, and therefore I feel confident to release these as a beta test version into Google Play for the users and for me to actually live test the app as a beta version. So let's run our API 34 application in the emulator and let's see if we can get all the permissions correctly working. So the first phase should be that, okay, we need to create and fetch some object. Open config file. Okay, it's gonna now request the permissions. This is gonna be Android 34. Now remember, I'm requesting this as a bundle for media and video files, but at the same time, it's not like that. It's not gonna be like this in the older Androids. It's gonna ask you a store access to into storage files, so it's gonna display itself differently. Okay, I could say select photos and videos, but this is not gonna be photos videos file. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna give the user a prompt if they don't give me, and they could go into settings and allow these manually also. But let's try again and let's say all, allow all. Okay, we should have now permissions. Yes, we can go into fetching files. I have my configuration files somewhere in here. They should be. Okay, sorry, it's just gonna take time. So let's leave you like that and repeat. I need one object to get the foreground service tested. Yes, and yes, let's wait. I don't know. Yep, let's try this one. Okay, now we have our file in here. Okay, and maybe we could even, no, let's not run any socket tests. So let me clear that one. What else do we need to do? The notification permissions haven't yet been requested, but let's try to start our service. Yes, we are allowing notifications. We should see pretty soon. No, we are not seeing any notification. Maybe it is because we started and okay, now we are seeing. Now here's one big catch regarding the difference of these notification icons. Before up into Android 34, I'm actually declaring this as an ongoing because it is infinite service to fetch data like so from the back end. So I wanted to keep this in here as something that you cannot dismiss, but now in Android 14 the user actually can now dismiss this like so, and now he's not seeing anymore that hey, he has a foreground, infinite foreground service running. Okay, that might be fine for the user, but in regarding the concept of infinite running service of an app, I actually like the idea that there's gonna be icon always in here telling the current state of the app if it's still running. And now the user does not get that info anymore until he stops and restarts. Okay, so at least we are now working correctly. So we have checked our file. Now we have not checked how the audio file works. So now we need to check additional permit if we have some kind of a file. Let's see if I can find get file. I get image file in here. Okay, let's restore this one. And now we should have somewhere in here a file button. Where is our file button? Yes. Assign file. Sorry. Let's make it post. And now I can say assign a file. Yes. Now I need to allow. If I don't allow, I'm just gonna prompt the user again that, hey, you are missing permissions. I still cannot fetch you probably the audio files. That's what I'm trying to tell the user. So let's say allow. Now we can pump in here and fetch any kind of a image, audio, whatever document, what this file system, operating system Android should have. Okay. I believe our app is ready. We can even allow that one. And what I'm thinking to do to this for the user in the Android while he's starting to use Android 14, I'm just gonna start listing actually in here if the app is declaring that, hey, we have correct access permissions for the media files regarding image and videos and audio files. Okay, this is just a quick overview how I updated the settings of the app just to clearly list the state of the app, because this app is gonna be running in the background as an infinite service and it requires quite a lot from the Android platform. So if something doesn't work, you get a lot of error prompts for missing permissions. At least in the settings now, we can see that, hey, okay, we have the unlimited battery. So the notification is affecting the service because the foreground cannot inform you that, hey, it's been started and might be blocked or it crashes due to missing notification. So we can now allow, okay, user can now check, yes, I fixed that. We have a denied storage permit preventing file access. Okay, let's allow photos and videos. In Android, it might go through granular setting or allow all. Storage permit, okay. And we are missing audio because the user in the new universal file access might as well get audio files. So let's take allow. So now we have everything in most probable use cases that this app needs, and it should be good to run. Nevertheless, the user can still come in here and see that what's the actual state of the permissions. So that's how I decided to go for all my future app setting configurations add-ons, so at least the user have a overview easily accessible why the app works or doesn't work. Okay, that is all guys. We'll be back.